Hey, what you doing?
God?
Duh.
Well, I guess I'm trying to prove your existence.
What? What more proof do you need? Just look around you.
What? So if you can't tell already, this is going to be about the teleological argument or the argument for intelligent design. Don't consider this like a super deep video on it. This is more like a review. Don't watch this and then go walking around like, oh yeah, I can disprove God. Like, no. This is just a review. So if anybody wants to just get a quick summary of what it is, or if you want a review before you go to a debate or to talk to someone. Uh, so yeah, if you do want a longer version of the video, like a super in-depth, just put it in the comments. I'm more than willing to make it, but this video is more just to get my name out there, I guess. So let's get into it. So before we get really deep into it, let's talk about some of its origins. It can be said to have started from Socrates, where then it was picked up by Plato and Aristotle, and then it's moved on until then. However, some of the more famous names we will be talking about in this video are St. Thomas Aquinas, William Paley, and Richard Swinburne. And there will be more names in the description for you to look up. I know, you want to get to the information, but one more thing. To understand the argument, we have to understand what kind of reasoning we're using. The reasoning that we're using is called inductive reasoning, and it goes like this. You can accept the premises for an argument without accepting the final answer to said argument. An example of this could be, apples are red, apples are yellow, therefore apples can be blue. As you can see, the premises are very obviously correct, but the answer isn't. So, the teleological argument therefore says, 1. Man-made things have a designer. 2. The world looks like it was designed for a purpose. 3. The world must have a designer.
Do you think that book wrote itself?
What? No.
Exactly.
Wait, we're doing this argument?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's start off with the part of the argument that it's most known for, intelligent design, or the watchmaker argument, depending on who you're talking to. The argument goes as such. The world is far too complicated for it to have all been led up to chance. Therefore, it needs to have an intelligent creator. This argument is most known for the watchmaker analogy made by William Paley, but a lot of its more complex ideas get lost in conversation. So you might be asking, what is the watchmaker argument? Good question. Let's get into it. The argument goes as such. If you're walking down the street and found a watch on the ground, you'd know that it was created by someone, right? Because the watch is so complex and has so many working parts and tiny pieces, it's obvious. Well, the same can go for the universe. The universe is so complex and has so many working parts, it also shows signs of a creator. With modern day science, a lot of arguments that have been used in the past with this intelligent design have been debunked with things like science, right, and modern day atheistic explanations. So theists have turned to possibly their strongest argument yet, with the 4 unexplained forces of the universe and the 3 building blocks of the universe. The 4 unexplained forces go like this: gravity, electromagnetism, the weak nuclear force, and the strong nuclear force. And the 3 building blocks of the universe are matter, and dark energy.
Not convinced? Fine. Someone wrote the book for a reason, right?
Yeah, to write down his ideas
And why would you want to write your ideas down?
so that he could share his ideas
Exactly. And why would you want to share them?
so that more people know. Wait. I'm not going on with this forever. What are you trying to prove?
It all points back to me. Duh.
I'll be honest, this is probably the strongest part of the teleological arguments. The telos argument states that everything works towards a base end or goal. And it says that these objects cannot get to this base end or goal without the assistance of an intelligence. St. Thomas Aquinas used the analogy of a bow and arrow to help exemplify this point. The argument goes as such. A bow and arrow has the end goal of shooting, and it cannot just shoot and aim itself. It needs an intelligence to help it get to that point. He uses this analogy to help explain the rest of the universe, and how every part of the universe moves towards a goal, or is at that goal, and therefore needs an intelligence to help it get there. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my gosh, it's William Paley, and he's back with a steel watch! Paley then argued, can the watch do its purpose of ticking and showing time without an intelligent creator? No, because if the watch didn't have a creator, it wouldn't even know where to start, because, well, it's an inanimate object, and the same can go for the universe. But you might argue, God isn't here helping us get to our end goal. And you're right, and this argument has been said, but it also has been answered. Tell me, if a watchmaker can put a battery in a watch and then let the watch be and let it tick until the battery runs out, why can't God do the same for the universe? So even if God is not here at every single moment helping us get to our goal, He set things in motion so we can get to our goal.
Okay, is that not enough? Look, does the food chain exist?
Yeah, what about it?
Does that not show order?
I mean, I guess, but what do you mean?
Now tell me, can you get order randomly?
Huh. This part of the argument might be the most underrepresented, and I'm not saying it's not for a reason, I'm just saying it might be a bit unjustified. This argument was started by St. Thomas Aquinas, who said that the order in this world cannot be explained just by chance or by the lack of an intelligence. This argument can be used in tandem with the last argument, the telos argument, because for every object that needs to get to its end, there needs to be order in the universe for it to be able to get there. And if every single end can be explained by God, then the order in the world that helps it get there must also then therefore be explained by God. Oh, we're going to talk about Swinburne. Swinburne! Now let's add a new character. Swinburne. Swinburne used the inductive reasoning part of this argument to his advantage. He said that it is more likely that all of this order was put into place by an intelligent creator or a God, using the argument of probability. It's just that it says that it's more likely to have a creator than less likely to have a creator. Swinburne also used something called the cumulative argument. The cumulative argument states that every single one of these arguments in and of itself cannot prove God, but when you put all of these arguments together, it is more likely to show that there is a God than not. Hey look, it's a change in scenery. Maybe God does exist. I mean, maybe, but this is a pretty holy argument, don't you think? Wait, you're not God? No, but tell me, do you really think a flashlight and the universe are the same? No, they're pretty different. Exactly. Anywho, this argument was started by David Hume, who said that we cannot be using a flashlight or a watch in the same way that we can look at the universe, because they are very two complex and different things. So, let's look at why he said this. He says that the universe is not really as similar to the universe as the argument states. He quotes, "Surely you will not affirm that the universe bears such a resemblance to a watch, that we can with the same certainty infer a similar cause." He basically says with this argument that the universe is not similar to the watch in many different ways, but mostly in its complexity and the knowledge on which we hold in it. He says that we know very little of what the universe is and what the universe holds, and therefore, since our knowledge is so limited, we cannot use our limited knowledge of our universe to make a basis claim on the whole. He restates that the corner of the universe that we know is far too small, and we have known it for far too little time. And not only that, but we know it imperfectly. So how, in this small time, in this small corner, in this imperfect view, can we make an argument for the universe as a whole? He also says that we can only know these causes and effects by repeated observations. He says that we only have one universe and therefore one God per se, And we cannot know if this God exists because the only universe we have is ours. And we cannot make, therefore, repeated observations on this universe because it was only here once, and we only have one example. And since we have never observed the origin of a universe, we can never truly know how it started. Since we have never truly observed the origin of a universe, we can never know if it truly does have an intelligent designer. This will be a very quick and short section of the video, but I just wanted to add this in here. A lot of philosophers add to the idea that there may be a multiverse. And since there's maybe an infinite amount of universes, the people that say that it is such a little chance that we have this universe can therefore be outruled by the idea of an infinite multiverse. But let's not forget what Graham Oppy said on Alex O'Connor's podcast.
So I think that it's an important question whether we have independent reason to believe that there's a multiverse or
Yes.
not. It seems like it's very expensive if you're postulating a multiverse just to explain the functioning of the constants.
You hear the liquid in this bottle? Obviously. Now, can you tell me what liquid it is? Well, how am I supposed to know? So even though you know there's liquid in the bottle, you can't tell me what liquid it is. Obviously not. See, now you're catching on. This argument and the next will not be necessarily attacking the idea of the teleological argument, but it will be attacking the ideas that come after the teleological argument. Even if this argument does prove the existence of God, it proves nothing to show the nature of what God is. It's more the base of a house rather than the framework that the people want it to be. The teleological argument proves nothing about God's emotional capability, and it proves nothing about what he may have been thinking or feeling when he made the universe. Another part of this argument is maybe God did set things in motion and put things into place, but it proves nothing about how we got here. What was that for? That kind of sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, obviously, but what's your point? Now, do you think that was smart? What? Obviously not. Think about it. What are you talking about? Most people know this as the problem of evil, but I like to take Alex O'Connor's view on it and call it the problem of suffering. I don't like the problem of evil because it can be a subjective term, but suffering is proven to exist. Just like pinch yourself and you'll feel what suffering is. This problem attacks the idea of an all-loving God. Now you may expect me to use human suffering, but that's not what we're going to be doing. We are going to use animal suffering. See, we're being real smart up here. The argument goes as such. If there was an all-loving, all-powerful, all-knowing God, why could he not make a universe without the suffering of animals? Now you may be asking, what's the difference? I thought that you said that humans and animals were the exact same thing. And I say, shut up, you're straw manning, you know what I mean. The reason that we use animalistic suffering is that many theists can point to their holy books and explain away the reason and necessity for human suffering. But then I can point out the fact that it says nothing about animals. I hope you guys liked that video. It's definitely an interesting topic and argument. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And just remember that we can't prove anything. As you could probably tell by the name change, this channel is pretty much just going to be about philosophy and its arguments. If you have any specific philosophical ideas that you want to see me make a video on, please put it down in the comments below. Now I do want to know, like I said earlier, do you guys want longer or shorter videos? I'm good either way, I just need to know what you guys want to see and what you guys want to learn. I just want to know what you want. Anywho, I'm rambling. I'll see you guys later.